In this video, I'm going to dive into the differences in the perspective about the coronavirus between the 3D perspective, warlike, fear-based mentality, conspiracy theories, to the 5D, higher perspective or higher point of view. As you probably remember, I made a very long video about the ascension process of the humankind moving into a higher awareness of the 5D, a state where we are without the fear and the ego-based mentality that is currently controlling the world, and objectively observe how we're thinking in 3D and how we're supposed to be thinking in 5D. I would say the first point is the economy. Now, of course, I'm sitting at home, I have 3 businesses of my own, 2 of them are completely closed, the third one is going to be shut down as well, minimized job, and no revenue coming in. Everybody's very much afraid of it. We can see that the stock markets are crashing, first time in 100 years that they went beyond 25-30% in a couple of days. Nobody knows how to deal with it. But in the 3D perspective, we're thinking about the collapse of economy. So everybody's afraid. Nobody knows what's going to happen because we are very used to things as they were before. We have absolutely no idea how we should be building a new economy or in a different way and what's going to happen once this whole crisis is finished. In the 5D perspective, we have been waiting for a change for so long. We have been waiting for so long, and everybody keeps telling us it's coming, ascension is coming, a change is coming, this is it. So instead of thinking in the 3D, afraid of the economy, the collapse, 5D is about rebuilding the economy in the right way. Equal, without banking systems and governments controlling everything and oversight. The second thing is the fear-based mentality. Now, of course, governments are using this. I can tell you that I had a process coming up in Peru and in Spain, and I had to cancel both of them. Over there, they're even more scared of the governments. And of course, the governments are going to use this in order to have more control, just like the United States had after 9/11, just like England had the same excuse. So now everybody's monitored. Now they're allowing people to be monitored, their WhatsApp, their emails, and the big brother is watching. This is the fear-based mentality from the 3D perspective. The 5D perspective will be that this is a time for change. This is a time where darkness is fighting and it's the end. And just before somebody gives birth, there's a lot of pain in the process of giving birth, right? And new humanity must emerge from that pain. And this is a time for us to rethink about our life. This is a time for us to rebuild. This is a time for us to trust. And this brings me to the next perspective change between the 3D and the 5D, which is about the conspiracy theories. Now, I'm not going to go into what I believe and what my wife thinks and the different information that we have and the 5G and the New World Order and everything that you might hear about. The fact is that conspiracy theories are sometimes based on information, sometimes they are wrong, sometimes they are right, but the whole thing in the 3D is to keep us in the fear-based mentality. A 3D perspective from a mental person which only uses their mind will think about all the negative things that might happen. Now, in the 5D perspective, you trust. You trust that there is a process. You trust that there is a higher divine plan and everything is exactly in the way that it's supposed to be. And when you let go of that, because what happens in the 3D, the mind is always occupied. The mind is overthinking with fear most of the time. Thinking about the future that I don't have any control of right now. Thinking about the things, what am I going to do with my kids? How am I going to afford food and how am I going to survive? In the 5D, you fully trust and you understand that this is a part of a protocol, of the awakening of planet Earth, awakening of the human race. And come on, guys, we've all been waiting for something to happen for such a long time. We don't have to have the fires in Australia and we don't have to have the fighting and the wars in Venezuela. We know that something is going on. Now it's time to trust the process. On the 3D perspective, the fear-based mentality, we see a breakdown of civilization. In other words, we don't know what's going to happen after this. In the 5D perspective, we're viewing this as a chance to rebuild civilization, as a chance to rebuild relationships and to ponder and see ourselves from a higher vantage point. In other words, we see ourselves as a whole humanity. This brings me to the next differences. In the 3D, we are separate. Everybody's fighting to protect themselves, to protect their family. In the 5D, we're talking about perspective and existence of complete unity. Now think about it this way. The people that you adore, the people that you hate, the people that you follow as celebrities, the celebrities you don't like, the politicians, they're all stuck in the same place like you are. Everybody's stuck at home. Everybody's right now rethinking their life. What am I gonna do with myself? How is my business going to be? What type of job should I get next? And you finally have time. So this true equality, everybody's stuck at home with their kids, with themselves, with their relationship, with the shit they haven't faced and the issues that have to come up because of this coronavirus, corona madness, I like to call it. So in the 3D, we're thinking about, I'm victimizing myself, what have I done wrong? In the 5D, you look at this and say, wow, this is a great chance. We're all screwed together. And there's complete unity between all countries. Nobody's going to the factories, nobody's having a war or considering invading another country. The whole world stops. And now it's time to breathe. And this is something that most of us don't have a chance of doing. And 5D is about spirituality. It's about self-awareness. It's about becoming aware of your thoughts, of your beliefs, of your emotions, and becoming a better person because of that. Now, when the whole world stops, this is when it gets fun. This is when you have the time to ponder those things that you have postponed your entire life. Those things that you don't get to because you always have that, that excuse that there's no time. Your relationship status, things like that you have to work on right now. This is what's going on right now. So, I want you to think about it. Think about the 5D perspective and the 3D perspective. Think about higher awareness. Think about why is this actually happening. And don't let your mind be the one that is answering. Let your little belly, the intuition, your higher guidance answer why is this happening. You don't have to, your mind is going to try to solve it like everything it does. Your ego wants to know, it wants to have control. Let go. You have asked for this. This is a part of a greater plan. Become aware of that. Namaste. Have a good quarantine, guys.